the concept of emotional literacy, right? So me, bro, I got involved working with the kids when I was like barely 21. I was 19 in the chair. From 19 to like 20, from 19 to like 23, 24, I was still kind of stuck on drugs because and heavy drugs. I'm talking alcohol is bad. It's a bad drug, but I'm not talking alcohol. I'm not talking marijuana. I'm talking like crystal meth, heroin, heavy drugs, right? I never did heroin, but those are considered to me heavy drugs. I didn't really start thinking about myself and acknowledging what kind of happened to me until they taught me about emotional literacy. So basically, emotional literacy is just knowing how to recognize your emotions and knowing how to respond to them. You know, as a teenager, bro, I got shot, bro, because some guy pulled out a gun to my face and I told him, shoot me. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather die than look like a punk. So my anger would make me say and do things that were destructive, bro. 5 minutes took away my legs. If I would have just shut up and learned how to be like, you know what, I'm angry, but we could talk later, bro, or I'm gonna just back up and be a normal person. Yeah. You know, if somebody takes out a gun on somebody, a normal person like, okay, here's my phone, here's my wallet. Correct. I wasn't thinking normal. I was like, kill me, bro. Like, I'd rather die for my gang than you make me look like a punk. So it was the concept of seeing that my emotions had a lot to do with how I responded to life changed me. Because me, man, it's freaking crazy you mentioned bullying, bro. I dealt with the same thing here in the States. That I didn't, where I grew up, it was so gang infested, but my family wasn't gang members. None of my family members were involved in that stuff. My parents moved here to the States not knowing about the culture here. And they didn't know nothing about the gang culture. They didn't know the impact and the influence that it has on young kids here, especially the ones without a dad. Or the ones with the mama on drugs. Those are the main ones that are going to get into the game. Those kids usually are born into it.
Correct.
I wasn't born into it. I just lived in a community where all that stuff was there. And I felt that those kids, those individuals that dressed like gang members had power. And I dealt with a lot of bullying. So that's one of the reasons why I got involved in gangs. I'm like, if I belong to this group, I'm not going to get beat up so bad.
Correct.
If I'm by myself, I'm getting beat up by them and them. Like, I don't even know where to go no more, so I got to pick a side. I got to pick a gang, you know, and because of the bullying, my mom would bully me. I'm the oldest of three. Yeah. So I didn't have, you know, I had to deal with the gang members, bro, and that's who would bully me. I dealt, and you know what's even sadder, Sammy?
Yeah. How
you dealt with bullying in your country. I lived in Mexico for a year. I did 5th grade in Mexico. That's what traumatized me. That's what triggered me to show me that nobody was gonna help me and I gotta stand up for myself. You know, in Mexico, bro, I'm a white boy. In Mexico, when I was raised here, bro, I did 5th grade over there. So let's say I was 9. From when I was born to 9, I thought I was Mexican. I went to Mexico, you ain't Mexican. Yes. You're white. Yes. Cause like in Mexico, you have uniforms. The nicer your uniform is, the more money you got.
Correct.
You know, like all these little things that I never grew up thinking, bro. Like they weren't even important, and the Mexican kids didn't like me. Only a few of them eventually became my friends, but because they saw that I was standing up for myself.
I see.
My first day in school, bro, the teacher was bullying me. The teacher. I remember one time she asked me a question, and in Mexico, I don't know, in Africa, they make you stand up to answer, right?
Yes.
So she told me to stand up to answer, and I didn't have an answer. Some kid stands up and says, and supposedly Americans are smarter than us. And everybody starts laughing, including the teacher. And I'm just there standing, just like, look, like, fuck you guys.
Wow.
I come out over there to let you to recess or your break, whatever. They have to let you out. It's not like the bell rings here and you're going to recess. They have to let you out. I come out the first day, Sammy. Like all the 5th graders and the 6th graders, the men just surround me. What's up? What you got?
Wow.
Trying to take my money, and I'm giving them the fucking money. Like, I look rich, and we're not rich, bro. My parents just made money here, took it over there. When the dollar was worth something over there, right?
But you have more than.
But I have more than everybody, most people there.
Yes.
The only people that have more there than us is my uncles and stuff like that, bro. But I remember coming out, 30 of them just surround me. I'm fighting every week. Every day, going to the fair, going here, going there. I fought so much there, bro. that when my parents, we came back to the States a year later, and now I'm dealing with the gangs. And now I'm a Mexican. I'm like a paisa now because now my Spanish is more Spanish than English.
Correct.
And so I went there to restart. I come here, I have to restart all over again and catch up with the times, bro. And that's how I got involved with the gangs. And people don't see that, man. You know, we don't talk about bullying like that because we just want to be tough.
Correct.
But it does have a major impact, man. That's how we end up with school shooters.
See, I don't know much about the war. I think you're one of the first few that I've talked to about this and got to hear much about that. Back home, we don't have.
It's not even a topic.
It's getting there because most of these third world countries, they look at America and imitate Americans a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I see and hear that my country is embracing some of these gang lives now.
They want to be Bloods and Crips over there, I bet.
Yes, it's sad. But when I grew up there, we had none of that. None of that. Not even one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And gangs are there's really big gangs out there, man. And I don't want to say the gang culture is the same as like when I was growing up, but it's more internet now. You know, I come from the era where I don't know if you ever heard of MySpace.
Yes.
Back in the days before Facebook and all this other shit.
For sure, yes.
You know, back then that's when the term internet gangbanging started. Internet banging, because now you have gang members on the internet. When the gang stuff has nothing to do with the internet. Well, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It's more street stuff. Like what happens in the streets.
Yes.
But the internet, you're basically telling on yourself.
I see.
You know what I mean? So that's when all this changed, and it changed the gang culture completely, man. Sam, thank you so much for that, bro. You know, let's get to the part where you're coming to the States.
Yes.
2000. In 2000, bro, I'm 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
I'm 10 fucking years. I'm still in Mexico probably, or barely coming back from Mexico now that you mention it. What got you here? What brought the idea of you coming to the States and being here ever since?
Well, it's when I started doing so well in wheelchair sports. I was one of the top athletes, in my country. I traveled internationally. I started going to England a couple of times, almost every year competing. I went to Canada. I went to Egypt. I traveled to all these countries competing and representing my country. But finally, they said there was an Paralympic, we call it Paralympic.
Okay.
Paralympic qualifier in South Africa. They said if you compete and win a medal, make a good time, then you're qualified to go to the Paralympic Games. So I went there and I won a medal. I made the best time in 100 meters. That was what qualified me to come to the United States. My country, my state supported me, travel, paid my ticket to come to the United States. Lucky for me, I have two friends that left Nigeria a long time, almost 20 years before I even came.
Okay.
They live in San Diego. They suggested that I come to San Diego because the weather is great. San Diego is always with sun.
This is the only reason I still live here, bro.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the weather, I would have been in Texas or some shit already.
So I wanted to expose myself to the Western world and competing because I didn't have enough knowledge when it comes to wheelchair sports to compete in the Paralympic Games. So I came to San Diego since then.
Man, and you've gone back to Africa, I'm guessing? You still go here and there?
I've gone a couple of times. I've gone, I think the first time I stayed 6 years without going. 2006 was the first time I now went back to visit my family, visit my friends.
What stood out to you coming here bro? Because just the little things about the culture, how it's different over there, and how they see people with disabilities.
Yes.
To me, it sounds a little evil. Like, damn, damn, you really see them as like you're voodooed out or some shit, right? What stood out to you coming here, man? Like, what was like, man, this is how they do it here, or what was the first main thing?
I noticed the handicap parking. There's nothing like handicap.
There's none over there. There's no such thing.
That means they're giving preference to people with disabilities.
Yeah.
They give you front access, and you have ramps to be able to go anywhere. One of the things, that was a struggle, even for people that wants to study, that are graduates in Nigeria, is most of the universities are upstairs. Libraries are upstairs. Even my friend, Sonny, I mentioned, that has the nail, he pursued education. And today he's a lawyer. But how did he become a lawyer? His friends would carry him on his back
Hell, yes.
Every time for him to go upstairs.
Those are real friends.
Because he couldn't go upstairs. That's where the library is. So to be able to see a place that gives regard to people with disability, and you can just take yourself,
Yeah.
you can drive yourself. And those are the little things that stood out for me, not to talk about how, and the country is just it's, they respect people with disability.
Yeah.
They help you in any way. I got my wheelchair, this wheelchair, got it from the government.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
It's like, I get it for free. Oh yes, you get it for free. How is that? What's the catch? There's no catch.
What do you guys want, man? What do you guys Yeah, what do you need from me? Because I don't know if I could do that.
That's what I asked. But they give you a wheelchair sometimes every couple of years for nothing.
I'm gonna say this to people that don't know this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a handicap placard, you can park anywhere. You don't have to pay the meter.
No.
It's like, I like to say this. I'm not. This is how I like to put it. I call it like white privilege. You get front line. That's how I put it, man. I'm not no weird racist, nothing of that. I love my white people. I know a bunch of white people, but that's how I see it being funny, right? There's white privilege.
It is funny.
Nobody can tell you nothing. You're parked right in the front. You don't even gotta make line. You don't gotta make line. Oh, you're in the wheelchair? Come in, man. Come in. And it works, bro. Disneyland, Universal Studios.
Yes.
Freaking bars here, bro. One time we went, it was Cinco de Mayo. And we were in Old Town. Now, Old Town is like an old school Hispanic kind of looking environment, right?
Yes.
It's Cinco de Mayo, bro. It's at least 2 hours wait to get into a restaurant to even eat. I remember I come in with my wife and they said 2 hours. And I'm like, well, it's kind of what we expected, because of the holiday. We come in, bro. We're not even there 10 minutes. Some lady is sitting in the handicap table. There's a handicap table, right? Yes. She sees me and she was trying to give it to me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. She's like, no, wait, hold on. She's like, are you waiting for a table? I'm like, restaurant. Yeah. And yeah, we're not even there 15 minutes, bro. And we're supposed to wait for like 2 hours. The lady sees me, gets up, and just tells the guys to get me a table. And she gets me the table, bro. And we had a good time, man. Sometimes the chair sucks, but like I said, man, it comes with its benefits.
It does come.
It does. And what trips me out, what you literally just blew my mind with, is just how they treat us here compared to in your country. Yeah. In Mexico, Jaime, the Mexican Jaime
I do.
From TJ,
yes.
When he was telling me what he experienced getting out the hospital, he said that they just like, okay, you can sit on a chair, go home.
Correct.
No, I went through rehab here. I did like a month and a half of rehab. I went through a whole process. They didn't just kick me out. They still try to kick you out because of insurance and all that stuff, but I didn't experience that harshness, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's, bro, like,
it's hard.
God bless that lady that brought you back to life.
Correct.
Because literally, man, I have people that did the same thing for me, bro. But this is the thing. This is what's different for me and you, Sam. I had family.
Yes.
I had my mom and my dad,
that
bro.
Loved you.
Man.
Yes.
Man, bro. Like when you tell me that, it reminds me how, man, I don't know if it's selfish, how just ignorant I was of what I have. Bro, if it wasn't for my mom or my dad built the whole house handicap accessible, made a ramp. The back of the house was all dirt before. He made it concrete, fixed the bathroom. Man, you didn't have that.
That is luxury. Luxury was having a wheelchair. That is luxury.
Man.
You're talking about, I had a wooden crutches that will break and it will
stab you, basically.
Yeah, it will stab me. That's the best.
That's the word, yeah.
Yes. So having a wheelchair is a luxury, let alone, you're talking about ramp and all that. That is beyond luxury.
Like a ramp.
I know. See, the sad thing mostly about people with disability back home is it just eats your soul. We're talking about, I lived it and I was crying inside. I was crying and I'm saying, can they see me? People walk past you and they don't look. They look through you. You're not even there.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to see me.
Say hi to me at least.
Yes. Know that I'm human. I'm here.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you see here. People treat you differently here. The fact that there are people that don't even see the wheelchair. You know,
There is, yeah.
You know, you can easily get a girlfriend. You can easily get married.
can.
You know, I have 5 kids. You know,
We're putting in work in this wheelchair, you guys. May I have one too? I'm hopefully coming another one on the way. Yeah.
I'm doing it the African way. You know,
You're doing it the African way. I don't know the African way, but we're gonna talk about it later. We're gonna talk about what it looks like. Just go. Just embrace it.
You don't know their names, but just keep having them.
Yeah, just keep having them. So,
but jokes apart, really, it's different the way people with this, and people here don't know what they have. That is the sad thing.
They don't.
They don't know. They don't appreciate what they have here. You know, I can tell you, I went to the dumpster. You know, just to tell you why I started doing what I was doing. I went to the dumpster to throw trash, and inside the dumpster, I saw a pair of crutches, a pair of almost brand new crutches. It inspired me, gave me an idea. How can they be throwing wheelchairs? Is that how wealthy this country is? So I said, how about I ask people, if you have wheelchairs, if you have crutches, give it to me. I will find people to help me put them together, and we will ship it to Nigeria.
Sam, I have like 2 extra wheelchairs at the house. We have a bunch of tires. We're about to, we're going to talk about that.
Take it.
I'm giving them to you. I was thinking I was going to sell them, but hell no, I'm not selling them. I'm giving them to you.
Thank you.
I have to give them to you, bro.
I like that. I need that.
Yeah, heck yeah, bro. Like, man, the fact that we if we're able to just to give this to people so they don't even have to worry about that, bro, that's, I know some people that are walking, bro, don't understand. And honestly, they never will. Because you really got to experience, the people that understand me are the people that are wearing the wheelchair for like 6 months. They broke a leg. Wow. They're like, yeah, man, this does suck.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Correct.
To get around, move around, maneuver. And people that are stuck in wheelchairs for 6 months are not these wheelchairs.
No.
Are bulky ones.
Correct.
They're the bulky ones. So they get an idea.
Yes.
But people really don't know how difficult it is to get around them, man. And to be honest, bro, from now on, I'm never complaining about nothing. Nothing, man. If I ever complain, you heard me complain, tell me, shut up, Anthony. All right? Because I can't, bro. Now, this is where I want to hit, man, because this is one thing I noticed that people struggle with a lot being in a wheelchair is being in a relationship.
Correct.
I met my wife when I was 14. We didn't hook up together, be in a relationship until we were like 23.
Okay.
I've never said this in front of her. Maybe I have, but I think one of the biggest reasons why she was able to be with me is because her cousin's a quadriplegic, so he's paralyzed from the neck down.
Okay.
So I think she knew what a catheter was before I knew what a catheter was. All these little things that I need in a wheelchair, she already knew about it without me even knowing. Yeah. I found out about her cousin once I ended up like this. She's like, "Hey, I have a cousin too." But a quad is different, their hand usage is limited.
Correct.
He's paralyzed from the neck down, so he really got no balance. He'll fall and tip over if he doesn't watch out. So I feel she had that advantage of knowing what to expect with me. Because a lot of women don't know what to expect being in a wheelchair. You guys, if you want to get a girl, this is how you get her. Cath in front of her. And if she doesn't freak out, keep her around. It doesn't make her the one, but it means she's going to be able to not see you in the chair.
Correct.
She won't acknowledge the chair. Correct. She's like, this is how you pee? Fuck it, this is how you pee, right? How did you meet your lady? I'm guessing in the States.
Yes.
How did you meet her?
My wife, actually, I sing in a church.
Okay.
I've been singing since I was 9 years old. Yes, joined the choir and anything music, I love it. I love music. So singing in church, she visited the church and she saw me up there singing, and I think she loved what she heard.
I love the deep voice over here. Dang. So you met her at church?
Yes, I met her at church, and it's been great. She's comfortable with people. Just like you said, similar. When you're exposed to somebody on a wheelchair, you get comfortable. You get to know that we're just regular people, just like any other person.
We're just sitting our ass down all day.
Yes, we have our wants and we have our needs, just like any other person. We have the good, the bad, the ugly, even in the wheelchair world.
Oh yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Now it just comes. This is just carrying like another person with you.
Correct. So, that one thing I've come to know, when you get exposed with someone in a wheelchair, you get to appreciate them more.
Hell yeah.
Just open yourself. Don't close up. Open yourself to the people with disability, and you get to know them. Then you will appreciate them, and you will know that they want love, and they have so much love to give too.
Yeah.
As much as anybody else.
For real, man. What's one thing that, what's an insecurity you had coming? Okay, was this your first relationship?
No.
No, okay, so
No.
you already tried before?
I actually dated a girl for 9 years back home in Africa.
Oh, so before you came here, you had a girl.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. I'll tell you the truth. I had a little bit of advantage because, like I told you, I started singing. People like people when
Yeah, they just
sing.
heard your voice.
Yes.
Like, I like them.
Secondly, too, the fact that some people just like to see good features. You have a presentable face,
Yeah.
and all that. They get more comfortable. So I think the fact that I was blessed with a comfortable face, I would say,
Yeah.
people are drawn to that.
Your confidence, bro.
Yes.
Your confidence. I've met.
And sports does that though. Sports gives you confidence that you never knew you had.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does, man. Yeah.
And to be in the world of sports, it's huge.
Man, that's crazy, bro. So you came here, met your lady. How old were you when you had your first kid?
I was I started pretty late though. I was about 32, 34.
I had my daughter at 30, so yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was taking care of that. I didn't want kids. I didn't. If it wasn't for her, you know how women they gotta catch up with the baby stuff.
Correct.
If she could have waited another 10 years, I would have waited another 10 years. But we didn't want her to struggle with it.
I see.
That was really why, and it took us a year to like really organize and plan it. I had to see doctors and all this crazy stuff. So.
I love kids though. I've always loved kids.
I don't. I don't like the work, man. If I could just be a working dad at work all day and she takes care of them, that's how I was raised, I guess.
Yes.
But my dad. Yeah, he always played with us. He tried to. My dad, when we were growing up, man, he would take us to work with him.
Whoa.
Yeah, my dad, he used to sell produce like the grocery stores.
Yes.
This is how Mexican he was, right? We would go to Mission Bay. And in Mission Bay, there's a small little alley where there's a little bit of Mexicans, right? And he would know these areas where basically most of the Mexicans were at, and he would fill up the truck with a pickup full with tomatoes, lettuce, avocado, all the Mexican goodies, tortillas, all that stuff, bro. And we would go into the alleys, and my dad would tell me and my brother, go scream, tortillas, tomates, this and that. And we would go into the apartments and scream that out, bro. And all the Mexicans coming out
To sell it?
to buy from my dad because he has a whole truck full of groceries.
Yes.
And he's like, here, boom, 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 and that's one of like the. I miss doing that with my dad because even at 19, even when I was in my madness and doing the bad stuff, there were certain weekends that he would be like, yeah, let's get up early and let's go pick up and let's go. And now he sells big quantities. He doesn't sell little quantities no more, right? But that's one of the things I miss walking. I got to you never got to experience walking.
No.
Normal walking.
A little
whatever.
bit, but I forget the days when I used to walk.
Yeah.
You said I remember when I was 4 when all this, but you won't believe I don't remember when I was walking.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Using my legs, yeah.
Man, I try not to think about it so much because it makes me miss it.
I know.
But it makes me miss the life I had at the same time too because honestly, man, if it wasn't for this chair, I would be dead or in jail for a very long time. This chair snapped me out of it. I couldn't show that to people, but inside I was like, nah, man, nah, I'm not cool with this. This is not. People were giving me street credibility, calling me OG and all this, and I'm like, I'm 19, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even an OG yet.
Correct.
But is it because of the chair? And it just deep down inside, bro, this really broke me, man. It took me a while. What was it like for you having kids? What?
Well, it's hard, the first few years, first when they're little kids, it's hard, especially when you're in a wheelchair and, you can't put them on your shoulders. And
Yeah,
some of those things you miss. As somebody, some people don't understand when you have a disability that there are certain things you wish you could still do.
Absolutely.
And some of the things I wish I could still do is put my kid on my shoulder and stand up. I don't know what it feels like.
I want to chase them.
But yes, I want to run after them.
Without getting stuck or...
Correct.
Something in the grass. Like, you're tired. Like, I ain't chasing you no more.
Those are things that I wish I could still do. I wish I could, take them to places. So, can I maneuver this place? Can I go this place? In the park, grasses. How can I maneuver my wheelchair on the grasses? You overthink sometimes before you go somewhere. You sometimes end up just staying at home because you don't want to experience that. These are little things people that walk don't understand. They don't think about it. It doesn't
They
even
don't.
cross their mind. But you and I think about it.
My biggest thing, man, is I don't want my kid to be ashamed of me because I'm in a wheelchair.
Correct.
Like literally, like one day going to her school and kids, kids are evil sometimes. They be teasing,
Yeah.
talking smack, and that's one of the biggest things. That one day if she sees me and she's ashamed of saying that's my dad, bro, that's a big scary fucking thing.
Anthony won't believe it's the complete opposite for me. My kids love my wheelchair. My kids want to sit on my wheelchair and they want me to push them on the wheelchair.
True, pal.
They are not ashamed that I'm on the wheelchair. I am blessed completely when it
Yeah.
comes to that. And I know the fear,
Yeah, it is fear. It is,
because
absolutely.
sometimes when they become teenagers, and their peers are talking about
They're gonna have
that and all
friends
that.
and stuff like that now.
So it might get to a stage where they start feeling embarrassed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But believe me, you will overcome that. They will go through that stage and it will be over.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me, a lot of people that had kids, in the wheelchair, like even JT,
Yes.
he's like, bro, they're used to it. It's part of them. He's like, some of them like to get, like my daughter doesn't really get on it so much, but like okay, for example, now, bro, I have a ramp to get inside my house.
Yes.
She pushes me.
Yes.
I got you, Papa, and she can't push for shit.
Yeah.
But she's trying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So everybody has told me like she's gonna be used to it because this is all she knows. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. She's like, don't overthink it, don't oversee it.
Correct.
Me, it's just my insecurities, I judge myself based on how I treated my parents. Me, bro, I was ashamed of. And I'm even ashamed to say it, bro. But I was ashamed of the type of job my dad had. I didn't like telling people, yeah, my dad sells produce.
Correct.
But today, bro, I'm proud of that shit.
Yes.
Like I don't give a fuck. This is what we did. This is how he survived. This is how he took care of us. He didn't have to sell drugs.
Yeah, you went through that stage.
Yeah, bro.
You went past it.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm proud of it. Like,
Correct.
but back then when I was a kid, I used to tell my dad, how come you don't sell drugs? I'm like, if you could sell vegetables, bro, you could. This is
sell
piece of cake. Like, and my dad would be like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like you don't understand. Like his peace of mind was worth more than anything.
Yeah.
Selling drugs is
Yeah.
If you're calm selling drugs, bro, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
You can't be calm. You can't be, I'm just selling drugs. Nah, homie, you gotta be so aware of your surroundings, where you're moving, who you using your phone. Like it's not.
I'll tell you one thing, Anthony. One of the things I always tell myself is that everybody has a disability.
They do. Oh,
Everybody.
yeah.
The beauty about you and I, disability, you can see it. There are worse disabilities some people are going through. You can see. They walk past you, they don't know. It's a sad. I'll tell you one quick story. I was going home one day, walking with my crutches, going home one day, and I saw this beggar, dirty, just dirty.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can tell he was hungry. I felt sorry for him. And I wanted to give him something like $1 or $2. And he was feeling sorry for me. Is that not funny?
That's
He
crazy.
was telling me sorry when I was there feeling sorry for him. Why? Because he saw my disability. Even when he was going through worse situation than I am. That is it's perspective.
It is.
It's completely.
It is.
I'm on a wheelchair. You can see it, but I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I can go play wheelchair basketball. I can do sports. My heart is good. My mind is clear.
Yeah, it is, bro. Bro, I'll be telling, my lady, when we're at home, I have a lot of friends of mine, bro. A lot of my homies are struggling to be in relationships. And they are walking healthy.
See?
They don't got to take a pill to have sex.
Get
They
you.
don't got to do all this stuff that I got to do, bro.
Yeah.
And they be coming to me to the house. My lady will tell you. And they're here telling me about these girls. And I'm here they're asking me for advice. Like, how come you could be married and have this and
And they
be
can't.
like this? And you said this earlier. We could do things that other people that are able to do can't.
Correct.
Like crazy. And that's what, when I start seeing those little things, I'm like, I'm cool with myself.
Absolutely.
I'm cool with myself. I could do shit that fool that could walk and do everything I can't do. Mentally strong, they ain't. Physically, yeah, I could
Yeah.
pick. But mentally, bro, they'll break.
Correct.
They'll break, man. What we've gone through, bro, they'll frick. Mine is a piece of cake compared to yours. Like I said, I'm never gonna complain. But it trips me out. Seeing people that their disability up here
Correct.
stops everything out here.
Yes.
It stops everything, functioning, everything, bro. And it's sad, man. Sam, we're gonna cut it a little. We're gonna end it in a little bit, man. But one thing I want you to share with us before we end it is what are you doing today? What are you involved in? I think you said earlier, you still go to Africa. You're trying to help people over there, send them wheelchairs, crutches, all this type of equipment. What are you doing today that makes you stand out in the wheelchair? Because like I said earlier, man, we all have sad stories, but it's what you do with your sad story, bro. What are you doing with it?
When I came to the US, one of the things that break my heart is when I see the kids, don't taking advantage of their full potential in this country. They have it all around them, but they're not taking advantage of it. So I started by going to schools, to speak. I share my story. I've been to over 355 schools right now.
You went to more schools than I did.
Yeah.
Now, hold on, you guys. My bad. Right now, I touched something I wasn't supposed to. Can you hear me?
Yes,
We're good? Okay, go ahead.
So I go to schools and I speak to kids and I tell them to take advantage of what they are blessed with in this country, and I started a company called Champs Heart, ChampsHerot. Champs Heart is my company. I have the website www.champsheart.com. So what I do is I go to schools and I speak. Not only that, I started a non-profit called Pro Extreme, which I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Project Extreme is to give back people that have lost their esteem, people that have been exed. All I want to do is to give back. And how do I do that? I want to start with people on wheelchair. Those things I was deprived when I was back home. I want to be able to go back and give to them. And I've done a couple of them, thanks to you now. I'm going to get a few wheelchairs from you.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
I bring them together with crutches, and I go to churches, and I go to organizations, Rotary Club. They help me. We will put these wheelchairs together in a container that cost about $5,000 to ship it all the way to Nigeria. The fellow I told you I grew up with, Sonny, he's a lawyer. Sonny makes sure these wheelchairs get to the people that needs it. People I grew up with. People I knew when I was back home.
Yeah.
And he donates these wheelchairs to them. So your wheelchair will be in Africa in some time to come now.
I want to see a picture of somebody on that motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. The only reason I even started this podcast, bro, my last year working with the kids was 2022, right?
Okay.
And for the whole 10 years I was working with the kids, I never had no kids end up in wheelchairs. It was either kids died, overdosed, sad stories of kids just passing or not making it through life, right? And I had 5 kids that ended up paralyzed because of gunshot wounds. And I also go to Sharp Rehab. When they call me that somebody has a relatable situation like mine, like, Anthony, come talk to them, right? So I go talk to Sharp Rehab patients, and some of my students were there, and they were going through everything I went through. One thing I asked them, I'm like, hey, man, what is the first thing you have? Well, I'm like, what question do you have for me right now?
Sure.
I'm like, ask me whatever question you have, bro. Ask me any wheelchair question, anything that comes because of this wheelchair. What is your question? They were like, Anthony, what's the point?
Yes.
Like, what's the point now? And when they would say it, I would be stuck.
Correct.
I would be stuck for a little bit because I'm like, man, you're taking me back. I thought the same fucking way. What's the point? Like, I should have just died, bro. I used to tell people I was halfway dead because I'm paralyzed from here down. So I'm like, I just need a little bit more to fucking just die.
Correct.
And when they would say that to me, it would hit me. And I would remind them, I'm like, hey, bro, if you would have told me in the beginning of my injury that I was going to have what I have today, I wouldn't have believed you either. So I'm not going to bullshit you. I get you. You're going to feel like this for a while. For a while, man. And that's what came to me. Like, you know what? If there's 5 of my students here struggling with this, literally, bro, I'm here thinking there's people in Mexico, there's people in Africa,
Yes.
there's people all around the world that are dealing with the same insecurities,
Correct.
have the same questions, and are trying to find a way to live a life, bro, that you're just not going to give up, man. You're just not going to give up, and you're going to be relentless to just figure it out.
Yes.
And that's kind of how the reason why you started it, and this is the reason why this started, man. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to grow the platform, reach out to those people, man, and share their experience. And like I said, people that are doing something with it.
Yes.
Because we don't need somebody that is not doing nothing with it. Myself, I go through the periods where I even want to be hidden. I don't want people to see me. I'll be stuck. My lady will tell you, I'll be stuck at home.
Yeah.
She'll go out with her family, and I'm like, I'm staying home. Today, I'm not I'm not there. I don't even want. I can't pretend to be happy when I'm not.
Yeah.
That's the type of person I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm alright, and I don't want to fake it.
Yeah.
You know, and man,
This is why I like what you're doing. I like this exposure, making people understand this. Yeah, I want to encourage you to keep doing it.
well, I am.
Keep doing it. And don't get discouraged. There are going to be ups and downs, when you do these things, challenges. Don't stop.
Honestly, you just encouraged me. Like I said, your story makes bro, literally right when we finish this, I'm gonna tell my lady we're gonna fix this recording with the little details we need to fix,
Yes.
and we're gonna upload this.
Correct.
Like this needs to be uploaded within less than 2-3 days, bro.
Yes.
Because you literally empowered me. Like your story just is like amazing, bro. That you're willing to still want to live. You still want to live.
Yeah. I told people when I was in Africa, someday I'm going to go to America. They laughed at me. Anthony, they laughed at me. But I was convicted inside me. I had this conviction. I'm going to get out of that country and I'm going to be in America someday.
And do something with it. And
Yes,
you have. You
I
build
have.
your family. You build your organization.
So, Anthony, where you want this to go, you will get there.
Yeah.
You just have to persist. You have to be consistent. Consistency is the beauty of achievement.
Man,
You will
bro.
achieve. So,
My lady, yesterday we came to practice. Basically, it was practice of my first time here, even being in the studio.
Yeah.
But the day before, bro, I couldn't sleep. I'm anxious. I'm here telling my lady like I'm overthinking everything because I wanted to be perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what? I'm gonna just come in being me.
just share it.
And this is just what it is, man. We're here to encourage people that are in wheelchairs, bro.
Yes.
Paraplegics, quadriplegics, man. If you don't want my motivation, you don't want our help, that's cool, man. But we want you guys to go out there and do something with it.
Correct.
Go push yourself. Don't wait for somebody to fucking push you. Don't wait for nobody to push you. You go out there and limit your excuses, because I make excuses for everything. I'm that type of person. I have my excuse always has to do with the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Something that comes with it, right? And I need to stop doing that, because there's people out here that need us, bro. There's people in Africa right now that are so grateful for you.
Absolutely.
I could just imagine their face, just like your face when you saw your first freaking wheelchair.
Oh, yes. I know that feeling. I still remember. That is what I want to give to another person.
Yeah.
That feeling that I felt is what I want to give. Not pain, joy.
Oh, yeah, bro.
It's
We
what
have
I
enough
wanna see.
pain.
Oh, yes.
My butt hurts from sitting down that fucking day. We have enough pain, man.
Believe me, I know.
We don't want no more. My hands hurt from pushing this motherfucker. Like, I'm tired of pain. Give us something to... Yeah, man, I want people to see that we are being like this and still going out there. That's what I want people to see, that we're taking the initiative, bro. Man, I was terrified to start this. Terrified. But little things like this, bro, hearing your story, meeting other people that are struggling with it, I'm like, you know what, man? I need to get over myself, and let's be that voice, let's be that face, and let's expose it to what it needs to be. And man, in these third world countries, bro, we need it. I'm gonna have Jaime. He's gonna be probably like my third interview.
Okay.
And I was telling him too, bro. When he told me what happens over there, I was like, nah, man. Like, this is not even right. I'm like, we're right across the street, bro.
Yes.
And these people are really, they can't even get a wheelchair. Like something is. Sam, thank you guys. Thank you, bro. It means so much. God bless you, man. You guys,
you.
my boy Sam right here. Where can people reach you at, bro? If there's people that wanna donate, if there's people out there that have extra wheelchairs, extra tires, where can we contact you so they could hit you up and you can pick them up or drop them off?
Fastest way is to call my cell phone, 619-820-2084. Easiest and fastest
One more
way.
time so they can remember.
619-820-2084. Another way is to go to my website. It's called champsheart.com. CHAMPSHEART. One word. www.champsheart.com.
And that's where they can contact you.
Yes, you can always reach me through my website too. Or fastest way, call my cell phone.
Yeah. You guys, you heard it from my boy Sam. This is Wheal Talk, you guys. Thank you guys so much. If this didn't impact you, I don't know what the fuck's gonna impact you. For real. Cause it changed my whole perspective of just not just how I see you, but I respect people that struggle and face it and survive it. I love it, man. I love it because I had to do that.
Great.
I had to get over this shit, and you know what? This is what it is, and we're gonna keep it pushing.
Yes.
Sam, You guys, this is Wheal
Thank you.
Talk. We're gonna see you guys soon.
Yeah. Thank you.